Oh, okay. We're back with another episode of, what do we call this show?
I thought Nerdcast.
Nerd Stuff.
Is it Nerdstuff?
Nerdstuff, I think. Yeah, see, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I forget what I forget.
It's our own fucking show. We can't
we're
remember.
like, well, because we didn't come in with like an idea for a name or a
nothing.
We were like, we're talking about more and more of this like comic booky stuff. And we're doing it on the regular podcast where that's kind of like, I don't know. I felt like we were just kind of like, we may have
alienating a lot of our audience.
A little bit of them.
Yeah.
Some people are into that stuff, but so I was like shifting it to the end of that, and then I'm like, fuck it, we'll just do our own. We'll just talk about that stuff in a separate one. Yeah. And so we started, and when I had to upload the first one, we still didn't have a name for it, so I just made something up because our other podcast doesn't really have a name. No. Our little channel and our group, we call it the Breakfast Club, not the Breakfast Club. Yeah. And so I just called it the BC Podcast. I think one day we have to rename that one to something a little better, but right now it doesn't matter. So I don't know what you want to talk about today, because I guess we could talk about a few things, but I feel like we could do Winter Soldier episode 1 since we've both seen that. We could talk about also the James Gunn
Suicide Squad
trailer. We could talk about both, or we could one day I want to get on a podcast some other things like one. I think a good discussion is the Fantastic Four coming to MCU again. I don't think
speculation that arrives with that, what they're going to do, how they're going to do,
and
it, how you want,
how I would do it, how you would do it. Yeah, I think that'd be an interesting one. So maybe we'll just talk about the shows we saw this week.
Well, I mean, I think
we could talk comic books, but you don't read.
I don't read comics.
I would love to recommend a few things to you to check out.
I just don't have the time, man.
I know.
I'm trying my best to, like, between my regular work, setting up the other things that I want to do to become my regular work, what we're doing here, the baby, everything else, man. Everything in my life. And finding time to read comics just doesn't exist right now.
So anyways,
I can't even be bothered to read instructions for fucking cameras that I buy.
Right. Well, that would help.
It would help greatly.
The first thing we filmed with it was a little
rough.
The edges were a little dull, if you know what I mean. We need to up the resolution. But anyway, I guess let's start with that Suicide Squad trailer, because that was pretty cool.
It was.
I wasn't like full board Johnny Bananas crazy afterwards.
No.
But I was like, I knew this was going to be good.
This is going to
before and after just reaffirmed everything I knew already.
It's going to be way better than the one we got in theaters a couple years ago. And that doesn't discredit David Ayers, because his version of the movie never saw the light of day.
Right, we're going to have another, release the director's
Which I'd be interested to see, because he had like a Dirty Dozens type movie that he was filming before they Guardians of the Galaxy the fuck out of that movie by adding all the music and cutting all the shit out, and so whatever.
I mean,
and after seeing Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League, I'm like, yeah, I'm down to see what that Suicide Squad movie was supposed to be.
Suicide Squad?
Well, I don't know what I said, Suicide Squid or whatever, the Suicide Squad.
I don't know if he filmed enough for a total movie or not, like Snyder did.
See, I don't know,
and I don't know if they want to pay again to release another.
Yeah,
they're gonna have a problem where the fans are dictating what they do all the time, which is not a good idea. It may work once or twice,
but it's their fault. It's their fault. They put themselves in this position.
They're kind of like catering to terrorist demands right now.
Yeah, and there's a fine line you work. Look, man. We all knew when the Snyder Cut was released that one of two things was going to happen. One, we're going to watch it and go, well, this is only marginally better than what we got in theater, so, okay, I understand. Or, to Warner Brothers, the worst case scenario, and what happened was people saw it and went, what the fuck?
Well,
why didn't we get this?
I mean, it definitely was too long, but if you filmed and had in the can a 4-hour movie like this, and radically different. Like, like the Joss Whedon release.
It's night and day, man.
No. But I'm just saying is like, there's like only like fucking 25% of Snyder's stuff in it.
Less, yeah.
So it's like you've got this thing, like you might as well make money with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why would you not like try and cash in on it? And they used it to try and get people to subscribe to it.
Because I really think David Ayers is the same. I think the Suicide Squad.
It's probably better too. It just you do too much of that, and you're like, all you're doing is proving you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then everyone looks at the studio heads like it's a bunch of bumbledigs.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
And see, I mean, my personal opinion about this, I don't think it hurts anybody because A, you're going to give the fans what they want. You're still making the movies that you're making. I mean, I'm not interested in this fucking new Batman movie at all. I could give a fuck, but I'm going to watch it.
I lost interest when I saw that they have like 18 characters.
Yeah, it's way too much.
Like there's like every villain you could think of is in this movie.
It's way too much. But it's just like
it's definitely overstuffed.
I finished the Snyder Cut and I went, fuck me, man. Like, I would have loved to see the way that he's got, how far he'd gotten in 3 movies. A was Superman, and B just, it was great, man. I watched it the other day again.
Oh, you?
No, I fast forwarded through all of the garbage that I didn't care about.
I told someone else that like commented that they'd watched it for like the 4th time. Yeah. I'm like, I could never imagine myself sitting down to dedicate 4 hours to this again. I would have to watch it like where I'm fast forwarding
spots. Yeah.
Like it had commercials.
Like when Steppenwolf brings down the axe on fucking Cyborg and Superman just shows up, looks at it and goes, not impressed. From there on, it's every beat is perfect.
You know what? I'll say this. I have watched it like 3 or 4 more times.
Yeah.
Because I watch reaction videos of it.
Oh, okay.
And so that is exactly what I'm talking about. It's like it's their reactions to the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm watching the moments and I mean I'm not really watching it. I find that I'm listening for any insightful thing they say.
Yeah.
But I'm not watching their reactions. I'm still watching the footage that they're watching.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like rewatching the highlight reel over and over and over again. But everyone edits differently, so you get a little bit different highlight reel each time.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to see what people feel is important to put in their version of a reaction video. Or what people actually react to is different.
I just feel like what we're going to, because James Gunn's basically come out and said, hey, man, I'm just filming this fun movie. It doesn't fit anywhere. It's just a fun movie. Now, it's going to fit elsewhere because you're coming out with the John Cena series a little bit afterwards.
That's what's interesting is that, like, of everyone in that, how much they must have loved what John Cena brought to the table to basically say, don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Stay right where you are.
Yeah.
We're going to keep filming for another whatever.
You see it in the few scenes he's in the trailer, man, where you're like, this is good shit.
Like, I feel like they may not have had a completed series of scripts when they started this because they were like, it's like it really feels like he went from filming one to the other. Yeah. He may have gone and done Wipeout or something. Yeah. He's like The Rock doing a bunch of other stuff. But he, like, of all the people in that thing, you know, like, wow, that he landed the HBO series.
And the beach full of dicks thing is one of the funniest things.
It's very funny. I imagine the movie is full of that kind of banter. I mean, Michael Rooker, I don't know what character that is, but that looks...
I don't know either.
That looks cool as shit.
He almost was like, Omega Red? And I'm like, this is not right.
He did look like an old kind of Omega Red that stopped really taking his supplements. But all I noticed was that he was sitting in like a square room, and there were like marks on the walls. Yeah. And he threw the ball, and it hit every mark and went right back in his hand. So I don't know. He's some kind of like precision, like a boomerang type. Not boomerang, bullseye type. Yeah. You know.
Because Captain Boomerang is back in this movie, Jack Courtney, and I can't wait.
They didn't really show him. They just showed him scraping shit off his boot with the boomerang.
There was a lot of picking things up off their boots. Like Pete Davidson picked like the
toilet paper. Like
a lot of gross things on shoes.
Maybe that's his, you know how like Star Wars has everyone in every movie an arm comes off of someone.
Oh yeah.
I mean like that like the recurring theme in Star Wars is someone loses a limb.
Yeah.
There's so much limb chopping, and it's always like it's generally a hand or an arm. Although in Anakin's case, he got a hand and 2 legs.
Yeah.
But at least it was in different movies. Yeah. So maybe this is James Gunn's version of that. Just everyone's got a foot issue going on.
And it's just funny because the only thing that really ties a lot of these movies together is fucking Margot Robbie.
I mean, it's funny that she might be the main thread in the DC universe.
She's like the Tony Stark of the DC.
Because like those Batman, even the Wonder Woman, doesn't feel like it ties into the DCU. EU? Why is it MCU and DCEU? I never understood.
DC Extended Universe?
And Marvel Cinematic Universe? Yeah. Okay. I don't understand why
it's just dumb ways to try to differentiate themselves.
Yeah, I don't know who did that. Usually that's an internet thing that becomes adopted by the studios. But so I feel like Wonder Woman and the Batman Superman stuff, and basically all those other characters, because they haven't all the other characters in Justice League. I mean, even Aquaman don't cross over into this other. It feels like 2 universes. It feels like this is Justice League universe, and then this other universe. And the other universe centers around like Harley Quinn. It feels like. But there's just that one little crossover, which is Jared Leto. Yeah. But she's great. I don't hate the Harley Quinn movie. The whatever that was,
Birds of Prey. Yeah.
That was pretty good.
It was fun.
I've watched that several times.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's a fun movie, man.
She's a good actress.
Yeah.
And I liked in this where they're like planning this big breakout for her.
Yeah.
And they're like they're like on the countdown to like actually storm the building or whatever. And before 1, she's like, "What's going on?" And like, turn around, she'd already gotten herself out. She's like,
it's
and she like offers to go back in for them.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man. And that's the thing too. It's like that's the thing people don't realize. It's like, okay, DC does this thing with Justice League, but we're gonna move on. But you have all this kind of weird crossover stuff. But you still have your Flash, your Wonder Woman, and your Aquaman. But for some reason, it's gonna be a completely different universe. But it's like
but they're like getting rid of Batman and Superman, and we're still going to keep Harley Quinn.
And by the way, I just want to put this out because I said this, I think, at the last Justice. Henry Cavill is Superman. I will fight you in the street for this. Anybody who thinks that someone's going to replace and fill his shoes is out of your goddamn mind. Especially after what we got in this Justice League movie. I'm like, no, sign him to as many movies as he wants to stay fit
Especially without a transition.
Yeah.
You know, like a baton passing kind of thing.
If you want to do the extended universe, you can still do your Black Superman. You can still do whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter. But Henry Cavill's Superman. He really the fuck is, man.
They'll probably have to come around on that.
I think they will. I think that the rumblings and the fervent,
especially since every time he's Superman in a movie, he's in less and less of it. So he could just show up for 3 days of work.
You know, and the big thing that was supposed to be at the very end of the movie, that was supposed to be Jon Stewart, not Martian Manhunter, but Warner Bros. They shot the scene with a Jon Stewart.
Did they?
Yeah. Zack Snyder says, I shot the scene. I won't give out the actor's name because we didn't end up doing anything with it, which we'll eventually find out. We always do. But Warner Brothers wanted him to scrap the scene entirely. They were like, yeah, we're not doing Black Green Lantern. And
what's funny is I feel like if he gave the name of the actor out, it would be a whole nother movement on Twitter.
And it will. He knows that. He knows that. He knows. Listen, Zack Snyder knows how much power that he has with the internet fan base. What did he just accomplish? He got close to $100 million to finish his fucking grand opus.
I feel like, yeah, but they spent that not to.
No. Understand that, but he understands the power he has now.
So,
especially with the reactions of the movie as it came out.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we did that to death last week.
Okay.
We could talk about it if you want.
I like all the cameos. I like how most people are probably going to die at some point. I like how he gave nothing away.
Well, they said don't get attached to anyone. In this
My
movie.
favorite character in the trailer, by the way, is King Shark.
What's funny is I think the original, like, teaser,
mm-hmm.
when you see the credits, I saw Stallone's name, and I'm like, oh, Stallone's one of his rotation guys now.
Yeah.
Like, he had that little part in Guardians, and now he's using Stallone in all of his stuff. And I was like, but who's he playing? And he's the voice of King Shark. That's fucking awesome.
Fantastic.
What a good casting.
I just love hand. Yes, you have a hand.
Yes, that's a hand. I think I'm most excited for. We said the name of this character in the last podcast because the tech looked like it. But when they said we've got a kaiju, and then you
Starro.
see Starro, and it's fucking Starro.
Yeah.
It's literally the purple, blue, white, fucking giant starfish.
It's so good. It's so good.
I mean, like, that alone, I don't care about all the actors. Just to see, like, a giant Starro is going to be, like, the greatest thing.
It is. I'm really looking forward to that.
Speaking of giant kaiju, we also have to plan a day. We're going to have to do a reaction video for that Kong guy.
Is it out yet?
No, I think it's soon, like next week.
I think the 31st.
Like
yeah.
Yeah. So it's we have to plan a date because I am fully Team Kong from like the day I was born.
Yeah. See, I'm Zilla.
And you're
I'm
a Godzilla
100%
guy.
Team Zilla.
So we gotta maybe we need to place some money on this, or
well, here's the problem though. It's gonna be like every team up movie. They're gonna fight. Everyone's gonna get their fucking
just like
spots
Superman,
in.
Batman.
Yeah, everyone's gonna get their spots in.
It's just gonna be who says Martha first.
And then you're gonna find out what the bigger threat is, which I've been spoiled.
But we need to.
So
we need to. Maybe we can establish who had who on the ropes before, who was gonna win the fight before all was said and done, and they decided to team up and combine forces against the real villain.
I have a feeling that there were a lot of hands in this, and it's going to be way more 50-50. But if we're just going to place
this
bets,
is the politics of two of like a cross promoted wrestling show.
Yeah, exactly.
With two promotions.
This
is we got to have our guys look equal. We can't have.
This is Hogan and Flair in the 80s.
Yeah.
I would. Knowing the spoiler that I know, I accidentally got spoiled, and I didn't mean to, because I wanted to see. But knowing the spoiler I know, I'm going to say that Kong is going to put up a phenomenal fight, but I think Zilla's going to start taking over before they have to team up.
I don't understand, because he's got a bigger brain and can use tools and has thumbs.
I understand all that. You're right. But Godzilla's thing is you just punish him and he doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It just never matters. At some point he looks like he's beaten and broken and you're like, oh man, Zilla's down. But as a Zilla fan, you're like, nah, he's not really down. He's just his eyes are gonna open, he's gonna go some form of Zilla crazy, and then he's gonna do the thing he does. And I'm just assuming that that's going to be the case.
All right, we'll see.
We'll see.
We're kind of all over the place. Did we have any more Suicide Squad stuff too?
Just I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a really fun
There's
movie.
so many characters in that show, in that movie, that they, in a 3-minute trailer, we still didn't. I mean, you just saw barely glimpses of like
people,
of like Nathan Fillion and like some of these other characters.
And just remember, that they gave him all the creative freedom. So because he just picked a bunch of characters. There's probably like, you can't kill these 2 people. But everyone else, what the fuck? We don't give a fuck. So he's going to have some really fun shit with that. You got polka dot. You got all kinds of shit in the characters, and they're not going to live. But you want to see the crazy, creative, and fun ways that they die. And then you have King Shark who eats people, and I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You can't kill Stallone. I don't care what Warner Brothers says.
The design is great. Like
it is.
Like I like that he's kind of like human size.
They
did the King Shark in Flash, and they made him like way bigger.
Yeah. He's like the King Shark from the Harley Quinn cartoon that they just came out with, and I love that. That King Shark is amazing. So I love that they keep that visual aesthetic where he's not that much bigger. He's just a fucking human shark.
Right.
It's great. I love it. You can tell it's like James Gunn was like, we're not going to try to explain this. We're just going to do it.
Yeah. I
mean, there's too much explanation that goes on in this shit anyway.
If you fucking had to give the origin of every character in this movie,
it'd be 15 hours long.
Yeah.
And with any luck, we get no explanation for Harley Quinn just by her appearance. She's been in enough movies now. We get it. Everyone knows.
Well, she got caught.
Yeah, she got caught.
She got caught doing something.
And I'm looking forward to Suicide Squad. I really am. I'm probably looking more forward to that than I am some of the more recent Marvel movies that are coming out. Like, they're gonna be fun and all, but like, it's been there, seen it, done it, whatever. This is gonna be new.
Well, what's in the next one? I mean, I
think the next one is it
has to be Black
Widow. Yeah,
they're like, fuck it, put it in the. It's interesting,
and I'm only excited for Black Widow because of what's his face as
David Harbour.
David Harbour.
It looks fun.
He's the reason I'm looking forward to that movie. And Taskmaster, because I'm a big Taskmaster fan.
I think you're underselling that movie. I think it's good to have the lower expectations for anything, but I think this movie's gonna.
It's Marvel.
Yeah, well, I know, but
even their shit movies are fun to watch.
Right, our $1 billion fucking successes. So yeah, that's true. So, the next it's like that, then like Shang-Chi, and then then Eternals. But that's the thing. It's probably better to not be like super hyped for them.
Yeah, I'm not.
And then when you see them, and they hit another home run, and you now have a new favorite Marvel character, and it's someone that you would have never bought a comic book of ever in your life. Yeah,
it is exciting to see DC finally start to come around.
I mean, they did for this.
Yeah.
But that's just because it's James Gunn. They were very clever, and they struck while Disney had their fucking moment of stupidity.
I just feel like
when Disney with
the
panic fired him and whatever, they're like, fuck it, come.
Yeah.
Like
what movie do you want to make?
Like they couldn't get on the phone fast enough.
Yeah.
In the middle of reading the article.
Pick a character, it's yours.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, I want to do Suicide. Good, done.
They probably offered him Suicide Squad because they know he's a group dynamic kind of guy.
But it's just exciting to see like they're starting to come around, and we'll. I have a feeling, Ben. I have a feeling that all the fan fervor that's coming off of what's Justice League, it's only starting because fans know that they're the reasons that this is happening. So you've empowered them in a way that fans, especially comic book fans, have never been empowered before with Hollywood.
I feel like also
it might be a bad thing at the end of the day.
I think I don't think it's good. Well, the problem is if Zach has no interest, if Zach's like this was it,
he's already given away the reveal of what the other two movies would have been.
But we've seen you could tell 3 prequels.
Yeah,
knowing how it turns out and still make them sort of interesting. I don't think he's interested. I think he's interested in doing something else now.
The only thing Zack Snyder said about how his version of it would end, the only thing that made my ears like perk was like, and then at the very end, Lewis and Clark's son is going to be the new Batman, and I'm like, what are they going to do? Like make a suicide pact so he can be this disgruntled orphan? Like. No, there's only one Batman.
No, I mean, any heir to the throne is not a any heir to the throne of Batman has always been someone that was better adjusted,
Yeah.
I mean,
well, Bruce Wayne's a psychopath,
right?
So yeah.
I mean, Grace's parents died in front of him, but he didn't. And they were murdered.
Yeah.
But he's not like driven on revenge every day of his life, or to righting the wrong or whatever.
He doesn't have a cave as an echo chamber.
Yeah. So no, he's a much sunnier day type of person.
That's what and we might fight over this, but we were watching it the other day with the wife and I, and she's just like, Ben Affleck is such a good Batman. I'm like, I know, it just sucks. He's like he was always
he is. Except I think like some of he has some like voice issues sometimes in the movie. Oh, he's putting on the voice, not putting on the voice. Sometimes it's altered electronically, and that's not a Affleck thing. That's not an Affleck thing. He's a
good old Batman, old disgruntled Batman. And I'm not saying that
he's not disgruntled. He's just
grizzled. And,
he's been doing it. 20
and I'm not
years.
saying that like Robert Pattinson is gonna. God damn, I can't believe I can fucking say this with a straight face. That is gonna be a bad Batman. I think it's gonna be a bad Batman, but I like Matt Reeves as a film director. I think he has a real vision. And I think that
I think he's got a lot of hurdles, and I think the guy I think he's already got buyer's remorse on
Pattinson,
the guy he cast.
Yeah, because wasn't there a thing where they sent him home like get fucking muscle?
Well, I think they sent him home because it was like the COVID thing, and he showed up like fucking I don't know.
He showed up Twilight, and they're like motherfucker, look like Bruce Wayne.
I mean, I guess it works for looking like Bruce Wayne, but then it doesn't work when you put a muscle suit on because you're like.
Yeah.
Those I don't know. Maybe that's all bullshit too. I don't know what's real and what's not.
I mean, well, listen, we're both gonna watch it, so we'll figure it out when it comes out, and DC fucking Universe Plus.
It's funny that we just keep getting sidetracked to these types of things. Like every topic ends up in the Justice League discussion, and now this.
But to jump over to Marvel,
on
the lighter side, the Winter Soldier Falcon series. So far, 2 episodes in, I like it.
I do too. I think the first episode was, obviously some setup.
Yeah.
And you do that thing where you keep the 2 characters apart.
Yeah.
That way you anticipate when they're finally back together again.
Oh, episode 2.
And that was fun because it's like, he just like comes in hot. Like, you shouldn't have given the shield away and whatever.
Like, the fuck are you doing?
And he's like, and at some point, when he, I guess we say spoilers or whatever. I mean, what do you?
Everything about this podcast is spoilers.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck if listen. If you hear us start talking about something that you haven't fucking seen,
earmuffs,
and you don't want to spoil it, you have enough common sense to turn it off.
And come back to it.
I shouldn't have to say spoilers.
Yeah.
It's going to be, you know what? It's going to be in like the fucking thumbnail of the video. It's going to be in the title of the fucking podcast. Fuck off. You don't like it. Don't listen. But he's like, I think maybe they want to pace themselves on the racial issues and only touch so many at certain times. So you're not hit with an avalanche of it all at once.
I was going to say that one.
Because when he said, can you just accept that I was doing the right thing?
Yeah.
It's more than that. He also, Sam knows, America isn't going to accept a black Captain America.
And then we meet Black Captain America.
Right. And what did they do? They threw him in jail.
And then the scene right afterwards with the cops and everything.
See,
it was perfect.
Right. So that was like our dose of it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a byline through this whole thing.
Of course.
But that's fine. It's going to be done well. It has been.
Because Bucky doesn't understand.
It's interesting because they leave it a little vague.
Yeah.
That like basically they found the soldier.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they had some super soldier serum.
Mm-hmm.
Gave it to him. He engaged in the Korean War.
Mm-hmm.
He was their Captain America, but he was their black Captain America. So I guess it was on the ultimate DL. And I never read the books or stories explaining it's the comics.
Neither have I.
But I know that in the comics, he stole the Captain America suit afterwards.
Oh.
Like it's mine. Yeah. I did this. And they were like, no. You can't be running around in America as Black Captain America.
Yeah.
And the world can't know that we were using you as Black Captain America.
And that actor,
and by so the way, they threw him in jail for that in the comics, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that actor's phenomenal.
Fucking dude, you're sitting here, you're just like, oh my god, like
he was channeling something.
Yeah,
he was channeling.
There was some
something
realness.
In his life because
realness
that was really good. So they never said. He just says he stole something, or they arrested him for stealing something that was his. Mm-hmm. So I assume it's just like, without explaining it, that it's just like in the comic that he stole the suit and maybe the shield and was going to continue doing this.
Yeah.
And they were like, nope.
Nope, you're black.
And so but that's cool because that explains why they have like all these Flag Smasher characters have the super soldier serum. And they stole it out of his veins.
Now, I'm confused. I have one question. Does John Walker have the serum in his body or not?
I feel like he's the only person that doesn't.
Okay. So because it seemed like there seemed to be moments like when they show him throwing
when he's catching his shield, I'm like,
God damn.
I'm like, he's not on the juice because that was cool.
Yeah,
the way they showed him with the shield, they don't. You know what's funny in the Marvel movies? Cap throws a shield some, but I feel like Walker threw it a hell of a lot. Yeah. Like if you did like shield, like if you had a tally, he threw it a lot for a very short period of time.
He really,
Cap in these movies, like when he stormed the boat in Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
The other time we saw the Leaper, they were very quick and early in the Russo's tenure to show how when Cap threw the shield, it accomplished multiple things at once.
Yeah.
It was never just straightforward. I hit a guy. It would hit this. It would hit another guy. It would return.
Yeah.
Or it would block a bullet, do this, do that, or turn something on and off and do. And Walker's, I think it's a little different, but a lot of shield action for him.
By the way, hashtag bring back the Leaper at any time.
Yeah. I like him as a recurring, like, low-level guy. Like, we may not see him again in this series, but he'll be back.
He'll be back.
As soon as you saw him live, I know we're getting more GSP.
Oh, fucking more Leaper, buddy.
But, I mean, and I like that, like, it seemed at times like he had super quick reflexes and all this stuff. Like, when he saved his buddy, when he threw that shield under him as he was falling. First of all, that was really cool.
It was.
Really cool. But also, it's hard sometimes when they're doing this quick action and he's supposed to be like fighting these people and holding his own to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's the only one not juiced on the field. Yeah. You know? So it's like maybe that's why like when they were saying like I think at one point they're like, well, you're getting your asses handed to you before you showed up. It's like, well, you still got your asses handed to you after you showed up. It's not like you changed the outcome of things.
And that dynamic, that conversation he had with him in the back of that Jeep, laying the seeds for everything that comes ahead.
First of all, when they just fucking walk past him and won't take the ride.
Yeah.
And then when he's like, I love that Bucky gets offended by Battlestar. As soon as he hears the name, he's like, stop the truck.
Yeah.
I'm getting out. And then they're like, he's trying to give the pep talk to Sam, and he's saying all the right things.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be Steve.
Yeah.
I don't want to be Steve. And then, like he says, I need the Cap's wingman though.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's always that last line.
It's always that
and
last
he jumps
line.
right out of the truck.
Fucking beautiful, man.
So well written.
Yeah.
I didn't realize because they only showed him with the helmet on.
You didn't realize Kurt Russell's son?
Well, as soon as I saw it at the beginning, I'm like, oh, that's fucking Wyatt Russell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now I'm like all about the U.S. agent, and I'm like, this guy needs to be around because I like this. I like this guy.
Yeah.
I've seen him in a bunch of stuff.
I probably haven't over time. I just don't.
But the thing that always sticks with me because I love those two movies is The Goon.
Yeah.
Goon 2. Have you seen The Goon?
I've seen the first Goon. I've never seen Goon 2.
The second Goon, his main adversary
is Wyatt Russell.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta see it then.
And he's like a mental case.
Yeah.
Like an absolute mental case.
Which I feel is what we're going to get with
we
US
might.
agents.
They may have seen that and said like, this guy's going to lose it. But they give him so many credentials in this.
Oh my God, do they?
Like the guy's like totally qualified.
Yeah.
He should have gotten a shot. Like, how is the U.S. government the only ones without any super soldiers?
Which is bullshit. We both know that.
Well, maybe. Yeah. Although, wouldn't they have given him some or someone? You would have had some character that showed up with it.
Yeah, that's true.
Or because even like William Hurt, General Ross.
Yeah.
That was his whole thing, was trying to recreate it. Mm-hmm. That's the whole thing with
that was a plot thread that got lost over time.
Well, once Captain America was back,
you
were kind of done recreating it. You're like, well, we have Captain America back.
Yeah.
I think. But I like Wyatt Russell a lot, and it's funny though, like the lack of awareness though, because even though he's Captain America and he's trying to do the right thing, I think he's a little tone deaf on some stuff.
A little, yeah.
And it's like not only like the way he's addressed. The best thing was watching Bucky when they introduced Captain America. Mm-hmm. Him just staring there on the floor because he probably has never bought hasn't bought a piece of furniture.
Sleeps on the floor and all kinds of shit. Yeah.
Although was he sleeping on the?
He was.
There was no bed, but there wasn't a bed.
No.
Like it wasn't like he was choosing to sleep on the floor.
No.
He just didn't have. He doesn't have any furniture.
Yeah. Because he's so used to not having anything.
He wouldn't just go buy furniture. Yeah. That's not.
Can you see him at like fucking? You can see him at like Rooms to Go.
No. So he just the what the fuck am I watching on? And of course he's like saying the thing. He's like, I see Steve kind of like my brother.
Yeah.
And like the real brother is sitting right there watching.
Yeah.
The big brother.
Yeah.
You know that.
And it's funny.
Always looked out for him.
Because I remember when that scene was going on, and we were watching. I looked over at the wife and I'm like, Bucky'd rip him limb from limb in like 8 seconds. It wouldn't even be it would be the saddest fight in the history of Marvel fights.
I think the main thing, like I liked the first episode. It was good setup stuff.
Yeah.
And you got some new characters in there. But you knew you were waiting for the banter back and forth between those two.
So good.
It's so good.
So good.
The couples counseling thing.
Oh my goodness. Are you having a staring contest?
And where they're not close enough so they get between each other's legs and get closer. And the shit they're saying. And then like one little nugget pops out. And you realize she used Sam to get Bucky to finally open up about something.
Yeah.
Where he's like, if you're not worthy, then I'm not worthy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like, that was really good. And that doctor's good. Like that, like I love that whole dynamic. Like when she's like, he's like, pulling out the notebook again. Yeah, that's passive aggressive.
All that stuff is really good. It's just it's going to end up being another very solid series.
What's weird is that like, now we're like deep into the conspiracy or the meat of like the big real world problem.
Yeah.
And we've like this episode, we did not see Sam's sister, the old guy that he's trying to make amends with. How do we jump back? How do we ease back to that at some point? Because you feel like now you're on this mission. Do you even have downtime, or are you hunting these people down?
It's going to be interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's going to be a. I mean, obviously they've written it. And they know how to handle this.
Yeah. Marvel's built up enough cachet where I just go, this is going to make sense at the end. It was like the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. I was like, this will make sense in the end.
Yeah, that was rough, though.
Yeah, it was rough. This was very... The only thing that took me out of this episode was it reminded me that we're watching a TV show.
I liked...
With the Falcon and the truck scene. And I'm like, the CGI was just rough. And I went, oh, yeah, this doesn't have it.
No, they're spending $200 million on this show.
Yeah, it's still, you can tell it's rough.
It's the movie. I didn't notice it at all. I thought it was rough or smooth. But I didn't notice
I didn't care. I just noticed it.
I didn't notice an issue. And
that little girl beating your ass.
And for the amount of shots that they're doing for a TV series, it's probably just... whatever. They're not. Yeah. They don't have time to sit and redo something or fix it.
And a lot of that stuff's happening at such a quick pace. It doesn't matter.
But no, it's $200 million budget on this show for 6 episodes. It's
Wait, only 6 episodes.
It's every level of. But they're like 45, 50 minutes long. They're longer.
Okay, yeah.
So it's kind of like you're getting the same amount.
Yeah.
Well, funny enough, WandaVision was $225 million to shoot. I feel like the times are going to average out to be about the same for the run length of the entire season.
Yeah. But I can see how WandaVision is way more FX heavy.
Well, yeah, because in this, I guess, you do have one flying character.
I love...
But you don't have, like, all the mapping on Vision all the time. You don't have all the magic special effects and stuff. Like bullets and stuff. That's not...
You have androids, aliens,
and wizards.
And sorcerers. Yeah, sorcerers. It's like, what about wizards? Wizards.
No. He said wizards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then when they said, what about Doctor Strange? He goes, no, he's a sorcerer. And
that's right, yeah.
He goes, and then something was like, wizards are just sorcerers with hats.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. That's right.
I love that Bucky, like, there's no such thing.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't see anyone casting spells at the end of Endgame when he was in the fray with everyone else.
And that's the thing is, like, people...
Or he's just in denial.
We're gonna see, like, the Bucky hasn't, like, caught up like Steve did. Because he didn't have the time to.
I mean...
And he's so mentally fractured from all the
he's caught up in certain
ways. In certain ways.
Not in pulp culture references and things like that. Yeah. But I mean, as the Winter Soldier, he had to know how to use like a cell phone, or like modern day technology. Yeah. Otherwise, you'd be like really terrible assassin.
But like watching his first date,
getting caught on cameras all the time. Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Well, it's funny because he keeps talking to people as if they know he's 100 and whatever years old. And then always having to like add an extra word or two afterwards, realizing that like, it feels like since 43 or.
I've read Lord of the Rings when it first came out. It's like
right. But that was with Falcon. So he didn't have to like pretend he wasn't old.
Fantastic.
I like that line where he's like, you don't get to do this with your extended life.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. It's like, it was a good line.
And I feel like that journey that they're going to go through where, because at the end of this is Falcon feeling worthy, I'm sure.
I mean, how can he not get the shield back at the end of this?
Yeah.
Obviously, Bucky knows he can't wield the shield because he's basically a known terrorist.
He's got a higher kill count than most nations.
Well, but how many people did Captain America kill? Yeah, Captain America never stopped killing people.
They were Nazis or aliens. Or androids. They fell into categories.
Or Hydra agents.
Yeah.
That were shooting at him.
Yeah.
I mean, if he brought one of their ships down and they all blew up, he wasn't... That's what people... And I noticed in a couple of reaction videos where people were like, oh... Like, as soon as they saw him, when they introduced him, he had a holster on him.
Yeah.
And like, oh, Captain America, but with a gun? I'm like, Captain America always
had a gun.
I mean, or if he didn't have one, he picked one up and used it.
He had a gun in the movie, the first movie.
Well, yeah, he was in World War II.
He was in World War II.
You weren't there to like, shoot the Nazi and then make sure he had a parachute.
He used guns in the Avengers movie. Like he uses guns. Stop it.
Well, he's a soldier.
Yeah.
Killing was never off the table for him.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you can't peacefully talk people down all the time.
Right.
This fucking soft ass world we live in.
So it's funny. I think of the comics, they avoid broaching the subject.
Well,
too much.
But like in the comics, they avoid showing Batman as being like this fucking dude just shattering collarbones and making these
right. He may not kill you.
Yeah,
but your quality of life.
Fucked.
Your quality of life is it's 10%.
Exactly. So it's just like in the comics they skirt this shit, but in these movies it's like it's real life, buddy. Actions have consequences.
Yeah, well, and things have to make sense.
Yeah,
I mean. And Falcon is a soldier too.
But I just find
he's an Air Force fucking guy. I mean, they're like, oh, he's shooting all these people when in the aerial thing when they're going. Like, he's fucking he's blowing people up in helicopters.
He's a dude in a wingsuit.
They're also trying to kill him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
these aren't good people.
And the only thing that really gets me is like, how does John Walker? How is they chose him to be new Captain America? But they chose not to. It has to be just for ceremonial purposes. They just wanted that mascot back. Like the U.S., like we'll probably find out the deeper the U.S.
Well, Battlestars, they had a black guy that played Battlestar in the comics.
No. But I'm just saying for like John Walker's, like we don't really want him going out there and doing crazy shit. We just want him to be like show up to like high schools, give speeches, shake hands. No, because he. I
mean, that was a sanctioned thing they went on when they went to go on the trucks.
My first thing, Ben.
No, but it was the same as Steve Rogers originally. Remember, he went and was selling bonds. He wasn't over there in the.
He was also a super soldier.
He was but I'm saying, but they were using him wrong.
Yeah, they were.
They had him in a felt costume, doing musical numbers, selling bonds, and making movies.
But he was also a super soldier.
But I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, how is John Walker not a super soldier? How could you pick a Captain America who's just a regular dude?
Obviously, they don't have the fucking... They don't have it. They don't have what they need to make him a super soldier. Obviously, if they did, they would have injected him.
Yeah.
You wouldn't send him out.
It just feels like they just picked a really high-credentialed dude to...
I want to say that you're sending a normal guy out into like scenarios that normal guys can't handle. But that's not entirely true. Like a Hawkeye can handle it. I think doing Captain America shit is high level stuff.
Yeah.
Like
real high level.
Even catching that shield doesn't feel like I mean, I guess he's at his peak. The peak that he can hit.
Peak human, yeah.
No, not peak human. The peak that he can achieve, which is nowhere near peak human. It's nowhere near Captain America level. So it's weird. I guess they're just kind of playing that from moment to moment by Jazz.
So I'm going to assume next episode we get Zemo.
We already got him. They showed him at the end of this one.
Oh, that's right. Fuck.
They're like, well, we got to go talk to the man. I'm like thinking like, well, this is obviously how he gets out. He's going to tell the fucking code, and Bucky's his eyes are going to roll back in his head, and he's going to shoot 3 people and let Zemo out. Like, how else does Zemo get out? Yeah. Or is Zemo going to talk to them, realize he's got to get out of there because there's some opportunities, and find his own way out? Maybe he was like in a, he's just in a funk. He's like, nothing ever works for me. I give up. And then by them showing up, it just his anger gets renewed again.
He's the one villain that won.
Did he?
He broke up the Avengers. He allowed the disparity between Tony and Cap to put them at a disadvantage for when Thanos showed up.
He broke them up, but there was still Avengers.
Oh yeah. The best part about that was when he tried to kill himself and Black Panther goes, no, with the hand blocks the bullet.
We don't do that here.
Yeah, we don't do that
here. He's a good actor.
He's a dude. Him and Hemsworth did that racing movie.
I saw that.
That movie was phenomenal. I love that movie.
I forget what it's called.
Because he's a great Lauda, what's his name or whatever it was, the racer he played. But
he was the one that got burned up.
Yeah, his performance in that movie was fucking fantastic. I mean, Hemsworth. He just walks around shirtless and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like the dude, the effortless, good-looking guy, doesn't train, doesn't do anything, gets all the girls, wins all the fucking races, and this guy has to every minute of the day be focused and try hard and to just even come close. You know,
it's pretty crazy. It was
a good story.
I was telling wife, I was like,
I forget what that was. That was the one that was that the one?
No, Ron Howard. That was Ron Howard movie. I was telling the wife.
I forget what it was. It was like a one-word name, like not Speed, but something like that.
I was gonna say Driven. I'm like, no, that's the Sylvester Stallone bad IndyCar movie from the 90s. It's something like that. I can't remember. But I was looking at the wife and I was just like, the other day we were finishing
Rush.
Yeah, Rush. We were finishing the Justice League, and I'm gonna hold her back for this. And I was like, this won't come full circle till Momoa and Hemsworth are in some kind of weird buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
But the problem is they're not opposites of anything. They're like the same. They're the same dude. Just one's Polynesian, or Samoan, or whatever the fuck he is.
I think he's from Hawaii.
Is he? Is he Hawaiian?
I think so.
Okay.
I think he's Hawaiian.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
Let's go with that. It's like those two are just because it's who they are in almost every movie they play, and it's great. Fantastic. I love it. I'm
big.
I'm all about it.
Big hunky bro dude.
Yeah.
Minimal effort.
Yeah.
Just all the fucking, all the sunshine and rainbows and unicorns happen for them.
All the way.
Yeah. The charmed life.
Make like Patton Oswalt the villain or something.
Oh yeah. You two perfect people.
Oh shit. So yeah, no, Winter Soldier it's starting off on a great foot. I didn't realize it was only 6 episodes though. Shit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 99% sure.
Okay.
You always, as soon as someone's like surprised to hear a nugget of information I provide, it immediately causes doubt in my mind.
So you're like, listen, don't take my word for it, but this is what I know.
It's good. I love the show.
Yeah.
I think we're in for like this crazy run of fucking
good stuff.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now that Marvel is back in full swing here with the studios and stuff, and we have their app or their network or whatever you want to call it is like, I guess, a huge success for them.
Disney Plus?
Yeah, that they're just... And there's no chaos, like, as opposed to... it sounds like everything in Star Wars land is, like, just a fucking...
Is Favreau walking away?
Total I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I see, like... All I see are, like, things on YouTube, like articles. But I feel like it's all clickbaity, daily fucking videos that they need views on. So... Yes. So I don't even click on them to listen to the thing.
Because you don't want to give them that click.
Well, but I don't know what's like when I listen to it. How am I going to know if it's true or not? I don't know. I don't see it being reported like mainstream, so I don't know.
I just want Kathleen Kennedy going, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, that would be fine with me. She's done enough. Yeah. She's been there long enough. She doesn't need to be there any longer. But so I think we get a break from live action stuff after this. It goes to the What If series, which is all animated.
And then Loki's after that.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's What If and then Loki.
Yeah.
I don't think we get Loki. I would love if Loki was next.
Yeah.
Because that one looks like it's going to be the best one.
It's a weird time cop thing, yeah.
Time Bureau kind of deal or something, yeah.
It
feels like that's what it is. This might be multiverse stuff. This might be where we get a hint that they're managing the multiverse. Maybe this is how we find out. See, I'm sticking with this theory that Evan Peters is still Quicksilver from the X-Men universe, but he's also the witness protection. I mean, I don't know if he's being protected from anything, but the FBI, Jimmy Woo was checking on someone, and that this was him. I don't know why he'd be hiding or whatever. Maybe he has amnesia. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. But I feel like maybe this is the stuff where Loki seems to become employed. Yeah. From the trailers I've seen, that this is the shit they deal with, and that they placed him. Yeah. There. I don't know. That's a theory.
It is a theory.
It's a theory. I don't know if it's a good one or not, but in comic book world, nothing's too out of bounds.
Yeah, well, I mean, good stuff coming up, man, and I guess we're in a bit of a lull because we're just gonna have Winter Soldier for a little bit. And,
I mean, that's fine.
That's fine.
No, you say that, but we've got Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but I mean,
we got
for the next couple of weeks,
Kong and Godzilla.
Oh yeah, Kong and Godzilla's next week.
I mean, we got stuff. Yeah. It's all coming.
I can't wait. Oh shit, man!
I see we're keeping you up too late.
Shit. Enjoying my weekend.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's enough.
Yep. Like, subscribe, all that nonsense, and I guess at some point when we get far enough along where we figure out what we're actually doing with this, we'll have some nerd stuff merch at some point. Maybe.
I don't know.
If you guys,
it would be more of an accomplishment to transition into video.
Yeah, we're working on that though. Baby steps.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
I want my beard to be longer.
Oh my god.
All right.
All right, Gandalf, let's go.
Okay, bye. Gandalf. Good callback to the thing we just saw.